we're going to see a hybrid escalation, not only against Ukraine, but attempts at cyber attacks or any other new means of hybrid warfare, including drones. And I think it's in everyone's interest that we put a lot of pressure on Putin. Unfortunately, I don't see this war ending or even a ceasefire taking place before the winter's end, because the weather is playing to Putin's advantage at the moment.
The Deputy Prime Minister, David Lammy, has arrived in Kyiv as President Zelensky announces that his negotiating team are heading back to the United States for more peace talks. The UK is committing £20 million to bolster Ukraine energy infrastructure, but Kyiv has announced a state of emergency for the country's energy sector, with Russian attacks knocking out heating and electricity for much of the country. And that's as temperatures in the capital plunge to below minus 15 degrees outside and only reach about 12 degrees indoors. Let's talk now to Igor Novikov, former advisor to Volodymyr Zelensky, who is in Kyiv. Igor Novikov, what are the conditions like where you are right now?
Well, good evening. I'm actually in an office center. We do have a separate generator and a separate heating system, so everything is okay in this particular building. But at the same time, the city is in bad shape. And breaking news, like literally 2 minutes ago, another air raid alert's been announced. There might be hypersonic missile strikes coming up now, and there will most likely be an attack tonight. So I think tomorrow the situation might get much worse if Kyiv is attacked again.
And it has been set up to now that the targets are infrastructure, but outside of city centres. Are you experiencing the city centres themselves also sustaining attacks now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been 2 years of attack against pretty much everything. The city centers usually suffer from ballistic missiles and drones, whereas cruise missiles usually strike the infrastructure outside of cities. But once again, it depends. It doesn't matter what you struck with. It's still explosive, it still damages the infrastructure. And, the cold is making things much, much worse.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And Igor, do please terminate this interview if you need to go. You must stay safe, and you're trying to keep warm, but do stay safe as well. David Lammy, the Deputy Prime Minister, is in Kyiv now to mark a year of the 100-year partnership. Ukrainians must be tired, though, of diplomatic announcements when they're sitting freezing like you are in their flats or offices and under threat of bombing. Do you want more than words?
We definitely want more than words, but I think if we discount what we think, I think Russia only understands strength and pressure. Therefore, I think any Western ally that we have, and that includes the United Kingdom and the United States, must act accordingly in their own interest as well, because Russia preys on weakness. And if they see that the West is weak enough, they're going to test you further. And I think we're going to see a hybrid escalation, not only against Ukraine, but attempts at cyber attacks or any other new means of hybrid warfare, including drones. And I think it's in everyone's interest that we put a lot of pressure on Putin. Unfortunately, I don't see this war ending or even a ceasefire taking place before the winter's end, because the weather is playing to Putin's advantage at the moment. But it doesn't mean that we must give up. I think we must increase pressure.
And Donald Trump is saying that it's President Zelensky is holding the peace talks up. Just a brief comment on that.
Well, that's not the case. If Ukraine surrendering is what's holding up the peace talks, then maybe. But I think the Russians are trying to manipulate once again. They are definitely not interested in ending anything before the winter's end because of the weather advantage and the terror tactics they're using against civilian population. So I think that's basically just a smokescreen by the Russians for President Trump.
Igor Novikov, former advisor to Volodymyr Zelensky, thank you very much.